I am on my way to Bicol now. There is some kind of itch within me that makes me want to leave the island of Luzon as soon as I can. I felt like I'm not having a proper adventure while I'm still here. I just kept on going, telling myself I need to get to the port as soon as I can so I can start having an adventure. That's when I saw Mayon, the supposedly perfectly cone-shaped volcano. Now, don't get me wrong, I have seen it before, but never up close. Looking at the clock on my phone, I thought, I think it wouldn't hurt checking it out. It doesn't look that far. So I asked some locals for directions. I've seen dozens of photos of Mayon as a kid, with that old church in the foreground. I guess I'm finally going to see it in person. So I went. It was farther than I thought. There was a lot of winding roads and all are seemingly going up. Then I arrived at a dead end, a parking area with a lot of tourists taking selfies with a big blue structure that says Planetarium. There were a lot of kids playing around with a small skateboard. Whenever a tourist car arrived, they would go up to it and sell some bonsai. One kid stood out from the rest. His name is Marlon. What made him so different was his eyes. They were very bright and accommodating. It's as if there is no such thing as a stranger to him. It was just fun to see all these kids playing around. I really wanted to stay, but it's getting dark. I then asked him, "Is there a place where I can camp?" He said, "I will ask my father." After a minute, he came back running and said, "You can camp beside that house." I saw them preparing the plants that were going to be used to create the bonsai. The whole family was in it. Some of Marlon's younger siblings were cutting plants while the others are cleaning it. That's when I asked Tatay how they make and sell these things. Tatay said, "Someone supplies us with the plants for a certain amount, then we turn them into this." I then asked them, "Is this your only means of livelihood?" He said no. "Sometimes I go into town and do some odd jobs to help me support my family of 9. He then told me that Marlon stopped going to school so he can help support his family. He was really good at selling and he really enjoys interacting with different people. The idea of him earning from something that he really liked doing makes him want to do it more. I then turned to Marlon and asked, "What are you going to do with the money that you earn?" He then looked at me and said, "I'm going to buy a bag and go back to school next year." I wanted to continue our conversation, but I'm already dead tired, so I told them that I'm going to go back to my tent to sleep. It looked like they were going to have a long night as they show no signs of resting early. I then head to my cozy one-person tent filled with stuff to get my much-needed sleep. I was awakened in the middle of the night by a strong gust of wind, which made the whole tent wobble continuously. I then realized it was raining, and it was becoming really cold. Good thing I had my emergency blanket on hand. I was already shivering. I was still very tired and sleepy, so after looking for ways to keep myself warm, I tried to sleep again. Come morning, Tata approached me and asked, "How did your night go?" I just answered him, very cold. He then told me that the rain last night was really strong and that they were very concerned about me and my safety. They even prepared a space for me in their small house just in case I decide to transfer. I found this gesture utterly amazing. They managed to still think of me during those times when they themselves have very little room to sleep in. This family has very little, yet they are still very much willing to give. I told him I will leave early so that I won't hinder him in whatever it is that he's going to do. Before leaving, I gave Tatay a small amount as a sign of my appreciation. I have a daily budget for lodging. Since I save a lot by camping here, I decided that it was appropriate for them to have it. I then said my goodbyes and told them that I look forward to coming back someday.